Annyeongbuz. What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Annyeongbuz, where we don't just talk about K-pop news, we feel it, overthink it, and argue about it together. And today at ENHYPEN, we need to talk. Because ENHYPEN has officially entered comeback countdown mode, and the way they did it? Absolutely cinematic, dramatic, and slightly unhinged in the best way possible. So ENHYPEN just dropped Chapter 3, titled Stealer, for their 7th mini-album The Sin, Vanish. And if you thought this was just another teaser, think again, this wasn't a teaser. This was a full-on short film with adrenaline, chaos, and a life-or-death escape set in Italy. Yes, Italy, because of course ENHYPEN would casually commit cinematic crimes in Florence. The video runs for about 1 minute and 48 seconds, but honestly, it feels both too short and emotionally exhausting at the same time. And that's kind of the point. If you watched the previous chapter, you'll remember it focused more on the escape of a vampire lover, mixed with romance and tension. This chapter? Completely different energy. Romance took a backseat and survival took the wheel. What really stood out to me first was the contrast. Florence is known for its calm beauty, history, and elegance. It's peaceful. And then you drop ENHYPEN into that setting, running for their lives, chasing thrills, speeding through narrow streets like they're in an action movie. That contrast is so intentional and honestly, so effective. It makes the chaos feel even more intense because it's happening in a place that's supposed to feel serene. The filming techniques deserve their own moment. The camera work made everything feel rushed, unstable, and dangerous, like you're right there with them. You're not just watching ENHYPEN escape. You're almost holding your breath with them. There's this constant sense of movement, speed, and pressure, and it keeps your eyes glued to the screen because you're scared you'll miss something important. Now let's talk about the concept itself. ENHYPEN are vampires again, but this time, it's not just about longing or forbidden love, it's about intoxication. They're drunk on adrenaline, on freedom, on danger. You can feel it in their expressions. There's excitement. But there's also recklessness, and that's where things take a turn. Because just when it feels like they're enjoying the thrill a little too much, everything goes wrong, a major accident happens. Suddenly, this isn't fun anymore. This isn't a game. Their lives are genuinely at risk, and the way the video ends, tragic, abrupt, and frustrating in the best teaser way possible. It cuts off right when you need answers. And let me ask you this, did anyone else just sit there after it ended, staring at the screen like, that's it? You're just going to leave us like this? Because same. This ending is clearly designed to mess with us. It raises so many questions. Who caused the accident? Was it fate, betrayal, or their own sins catching up to them? And more importantly, who survives? ENHYPEN has always been good at storytelling, but this air feels darker, more mature, and more desperate. Now let's talk about the music elements hinted in this chapter. The up-tempo sound fits perfectly with the fast-paced visuals. Everything feels urgent. The beat pushes you forward, just like the escape itself. And what really surprised me was the Latin influence. Their vocals over that Latin-inspired sound create this sophisticated, almost dangerous atmosphere. It's stylish but intense, elegant but chaotic. Very ENHYPEN-coded, but also new. It feels like they're not just experimenting for fun, this feels intentional. Like they're building a world where every sound, every visual choice, and every storyline detail connects back to this larger theme of sin. And then there's the scene, Banish Interlude 3, if Stealer wasn't enough to stress you out. This interlude comes in to raise the stakes even higher. It hints at a shocking truth connected to ENHYPEN's leader. And I won't lie, this part made me pause. Because if the leader is hiding something, or if there's a twist connected to him, that could change the entire narrative we think we understand so far. This interlude doesn't give us clear answers, instead, it creates a sense of crisis. It makes you question motives, loyalty, and who can actually be trusted in this story. And that's smart. Because now, fans aren't just waiting for the album for the music, we're waiting for answers. ENHYPEN is releasing The Scene, Banish on the 16th at 2 p.m. Korean time. And this is officially the prelude to a new series themed around sin, and honestly, I think this might be one of their most ambitious eras yet. Here's my personal take. I really respect how ENHYPEN keeps committing to long-term storytelling. They could easily just drop random cool visuals and catchy songs, but instead, they keep building lore. They trust their audience to pay attention, to theorize, to rewatch, and to care. That's risky, but when it works, it creates stronger fan engagement and emotional investment. At the same time, I do wonder, is this story going to get even darker? Because if this is just the prelude, what does the main chapter look like? Are we heading toward redemption? Or are we going deeper into sin, and will ENHYPEN's characters face consequences they can't escape from? I also want to know how you feel about the vampire concept continuing. Do you think ENHYPEN has fully mastered it? Or are you hoping they eventually evolve into something completely different? Personally, I think they're still finding new ways to make it feel fresh, especially by shifting the emotional focus from romance to survival and danger. Another thing I want to discuss with you is the setting. Italy was such a powerful choice. Do you think the location has symbolic meaning, or was it purely for aesthetic impact? Florence is associated with art, rebirth, and history. Could that tie into the idea of sin, punishment, or transformation? Or am I just overthinking like always? And let's talk about that ending one more time. Did it make you more excited or more frustrated? Because there's a fine line between a cliffhanger that builds hype and one that feels incomplete. For me, this one worked. It made me immediately want the next chapter, but I want to hear your thoughts. Before we wrap up, I just want to say this: ENHYPEN is clearly entering a new phase of their career. The visuals are more intense, the themes are heavier, and the storytelling is more complex. This doesn't feel like a safe comeback, it feels bold. So now I want to hand it over to you. What was your first reaction to Steeler? Who stood out the most to you in this chapter? Do you trust the leader after watching the interlude, or are you suspicious? And what do you think the sin in this era truly represents? Drop your theories, opinions, and emotional breakdowns in the comments. I'll be reading them, and I might even feature some in the next video. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our full comeback coverage. This is ENHYPEN, and I'll see you in the next one.